Hey, what's up guys? Today we got a picks and predictions video. I kind of want to make this like an almost daily thing where I can kind of pick, 3, 4, 5 of the biggest games that are sort of 50-50 games, or games that I think we might see a big upset, or overall just great games, if we see a top 10 matchup, and just kind of talk about those and give my prediction for those games. And so let's jump into it with a big time game between Houston and Iowa State. This is going to be a really fun matchup. This is two great defenses. And what I'm really curious to see in this game is this is kind of Houston's first huge road test in a hostile environment. Hilton Coliseum is one of the hardest places to play in all of college basketball. And so anytime Iowa State plays at home, they always have a huge advantage. The crowd is almost as good as, they're a top 5, top 10 atmosphere in college basketball. And so I'm curious to see how well Houston handles it. This is a fantastic Houston Cougars team. The lone unbeaten now in college basketball, now that Ole Miss lost and James Madison both lost on Saturday. So now they're the lone unbeaten. But I think tonight we're going to see them lose for the first time. I think right now ESPN's got Houston at a 63% chance to win, and 3.5 point favorites as far as the betting goes. But I think Iowa State's going to find a way to come out with a win. I think it mostly comes down to they do have a huge home court advantage. And I just think Houston has not played a crazy hard schedule yet this year. I just think Houston they'll do fine playing in hostile environments, but I think this being the first really hostile environment game that they've played this year, I think it's going to be tough for them. And I think Iowa State in a scrappy type game, probably fairly low scoring game too. I would imagine this game it's probably in the 60s probably, which both of these, maybe even 70s, but both these teams are fine playing low scoring games. Both allow less than 60 a game. You see here less than 50 a game for Houston, less than 60 a game for Iowa State. But I think Iowa State's going to walk out of here with a win today. And there will be no more unbeaten teams left in college basketball. And then, so next up, we got a fantastic game between BYU and Baylor. This game is so evenly matched across the board. You got two teams that put up a ton of points, 88 points each. They both love to shoot the three ball. They both shoot it at an extremely high clip. But what's interesting about this one is they both are coming off games where they didn't play very good. Baylor snuck out a win against Oklahoma State on Saturday, and then continuing their winning streak against Oklahoma State. I think it's 8 in a row now or something like that. And then BYU really struggled against Cincinnati. Anyone not named Trevin Knell could not hit a shot for BYU. They really struggled. But both these teams, when they're on, are absolutely fantastic shooting the ball. Both these teams shoot, I think, above 40% from three, and fantastic shooting teams. I expect both of them will bounce back, so I'm really excited to see this game. I think it's super even across the board. ESPN's giving Baylor a 67% chance to win, just because being at home and everything. This one's going to be super exciting game, but I am leaning Baylor in this one just because of I do think of these teams as almost evenly matched up across the board. So I think the home court advantage is going to be huge for Baylor here. They don't get a great crowd at Baylor games, which is always surprising to me because they have been such a good team for so long now. But look for a big game from Jacoby Walter. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. He only was 2 for 11 in their game on Saturday. I think he's going to bounce back. Look for him to have a big game. I think it's going to be a great game. One I could see going either way, but I do think being at having the home court advantage is going to be big for Baylor here. So I like Baylor to win this one in a close one. Okay, next up we got another pretty evenly matched game, Texas A&M and Auburn. ESPN's giving Auburn an 82% chance to win, which I understand. Texas A&M has not played to expectations this year at all. But what I'm really excited to see in this one is Tyrese Radford is returning today. He is Wade Taylor's backcourt mate. He makes their backcourt so much better. He takes the pressure off Wade Taylor. It's going to be his first game back today. That's going to be huge. Texas A&M is without Julius Marble, so they do lose a key front court piece, which would have really helped in slowing down Johni Broome. I think this is going to be it's going to be a really good game. Auburn's favored by 7.5, but I think it's going to be closer than that. I think it's going to be just a 1 or 2 possession game when it's all said and done. I'm going to go with Auburn here to get the win, but if Radford's back, and I think he's going to be fully healthy. I don't think they'd bring him back if he's not going to be fully healthy. Radford's back. He might have some rust, but with Radford being back, that's huge. It just takes off so much pressure from Wade Taylor. He's had a lot of pressure on him this year. Teams have kind of been able to key in on him, but to have his backcourt weapon with him was going to be huge. It's going to be really huge. So I think A&M is going to be able to make this a close game, but there might be some rust for Radford, and Auburn's playing really good basketball right now. So I'm going to go Auburn, close one. This is going to be a really fun game, though. And now we got, for the last game that I wanted to talk about today, and is Colorado State and Boise State. A really good Mountain West battle. We saw Colorado State lose to Utah State on Saturday, and so now Utah State's in the top 25 now, 14-1. Mountain West is having another really good year this year. It's been a lot of fun to see the Mountain West do well again. It's really cool. We got Boise State is a 65% chance to win, according to ESPN, but they are, but Colorado State is favored to win, according to ESPN Bet. But so depending how you look at it, on who's favored or not. But I think Boise State is going to pull off the semi upset. I like Boise State's team this year. They've kind of underperformed, I think, because Boise State was a top 30 team coming into the year. I think they've kind of underperformed. I think they're starting to figure things out. Omar Stanley played fantastic on Saturday. He dropped 30 points. I just think Boise State is going to be able to key in on Isaiah Stevens, kind of shut him down. Boise State usually is a pretty good defensive team. Both these teams are fairly decent defense, but I really think Boise State's going to be able to shut down Isaiah Stevens for the most part, and I think we're going to see a semi-mini upset with Boise State knocking off Colorado State, and a fun game though. A game I'm excited to watch as well. So that's what I got today. Those are my 4 predictions for today. So we got Iowa State giving Houston their first loss of the season. Then we got BYU and Baylor in a high-scoring thriller. Baylor coming out on top. Texas A&M and Auburn in a closer game than they're predicting. I think it'll only be 1 or 2 possessions. Most likely Auburn getting the win. And then we got Boise State with a semi-upset over Colorado State. It's a fantastic slate of games today. A lot of good games to talk about, but those are the 4 that kind of stood out to me the most, and I'm kind of the most excited to watch today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and tell me what games you guys are excited for, or if you see these games going differently than I do. Let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.